Hello guys, so back to my transformation videos. I got a very interesting request several days ago to do Melania Trump transformation. Her face is almost opposite to mine. Mine is soft and round and very childish. I applied pretty dark foundation. I'm gonna make my neck darker first of all, because this contour of my chin is very important. I'm mattifying my face. Now I will use this white powder. First of all, her chin is bigger and more square. To lift it up to my eyes, her eyes are small and shrinked, and she always has that very flat and clear space under her eyes. Under my nose, because I will have to make my nose just a bit higher, just a bit shorter, and of course thinner. Her nose is much thinner than mine. Also, she has pretty big cheekbones here. Probably she got them injected, I don't know. I will have to lift my outer corners very much, and also lift the whole eyes up. Her nose is pretty small and sharp, and in terms of the shape, it's pretty complicated because she has many different shadows on her nose. By the eyes is thinner. Here she has some wider part. I'm moving it like that. Then she has it narrower again. I'm lifting the tip up. A couple of triangles here. A couple here. The nostrils area has to be a little bit high, darkening it on the bottom, like that. Now I'm adding some darker and thinner shadows just to make it more realistic. I will blend it more in the end. So now I have to make my brows lower and a bit more straight. So instead of going up, I'm adding some hair down here. She has a little bit of a lift here, but not too much. She actually almost doesn't have that lid space, and her eyes are pretty close set, so her brows start close to each other, something here. In the 90s she had pretty thin brows, like Pamela Anderson or something, and of course now that trend has changed. She almost always has a certain smoky eye. And an interesting thing here is her eyes are pretty small and shrinked and hooded, and they're still lining her eyes inside. My eyes are normal set. Her eyes are close set, and they're very lifted like that. She almost never add anything on the bottom. So I'm just gonna go between my lower lashes, and my personal eyes are droopy and her eyes are very lifted. I will have to do something like this, moving down a little bit the inner part of my eyes to compensate that area. Now on top, I'm going between my lashes, very close to my lash line, and I'm going much thicker here on the sides. I will have to exaggerate the lift. So I will do that smoky eye. I will leave the link on all the products I use under this video. This is MAC palette that I made myself. I just bought separate eyeshadows. I put the color here on my lid. Actually, what her makeup artist does is applying the eyeshadow and then blending it up almost to the brow, but still leaving a very small space. I will have to elongate it here to my nose because I still need to make my eyes closer to each other. She never blends it lower than that line. Blend now. Sometimes her eyeshadow here is bluish, sometimes it's grayish. I noticed that she uses cool colors most of the time here. I noticed that she almost doesn't apply the mascara on her bottom lashes, probably just because it falls down, it's uncomfortable for her. I'm gonna touch it just a little bit by the roots, and I'm gonna go thicker on top. What I noticed now is this part is still pretty wide. I just look on her picture and I have to make it smaller, as small as possible here. Here it's very flat, so I'm adding some white powder here on the sides and also there behind. So her cheekbones are pretty low and pretty big here. And then she has that vertical line that goes by her mouth down here like that. Light powder here just to accentuate that I have the space here, because her face is more square and she has a bigger jaw than me. Now I'm gonna blend this line a little bit so it would not be this dark and harsh. She applies some orange contouring here on the sides of her forehead. I'm taking that bronzer and I'm applying it just above that line just to make it more orange. It's what she does, and it's interesting. Very often she goes pretty high almost to her eyes like that. On her temples. I also gonna add some pinkish blush here on the sides. I'm gonna make my mouth bigger and mostly add lips here on the sides. I'm gonna make two shadows with that black pencil on the sides of my mouth to make it wider and just to lift the corners up a little bit. So I'm darkening here. Now I'm gonna add here and there just to polish, lift my corners up a bit more to make my lips more forward. I'm leaving the light line above my lip, and above this light line I'm adding some dark line, very thin, so it would not look like mustache. Lips are kind of rolling up and it gives that shadow here. One little detail is a pink lip gloss, but I'm gonna apply it only to the middle of my lips, otherwise I will ruin the whole structure of the lips that I've just created with all those pencils. Let me know what transformations you want to see next. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.